Alright guys, YouTube, it is JableCG, and this is going to be How to Play Infinities, Part 1. I'll link my deck as well in the description, so you can see that as well. And for all you that know Infinities, you know how to do this loop. This is my variation of the loop. I may have done something a bit different from you, and if you've got another way to make it a lot more efficient, please tell me. I'm not going to be pissed off that you're contradicting what I say. I will remake the video if I find it useful, or will upload a correction to it, and I will address it and I'll shout you out. And anything that the YouTube community can share with me about Infinities is thankful, because I want to learn how to play the deck. I'm not going to be pissed off about it like some of the YouTubers would be. So yeah. And this is the 100 Eyes loop. This is why I consider the basic loop, because if you're an Infernity player, you'll realise you can get into this very easily. So what you're going to want is no cards in hand and Mirage on field. If you could get the Mirage on field without normal summoning it, that's cool. But I'm just going to run through the basics, and then I'll go through ways to improve the loop. Things that can help. So, Mirage, Tribute. Go for a Necromancer and an Avenger. Go this way round, generally it's just preference, but the way this helps is you've already got the Avenger onto the field, this activates effect. So if you add something that you can't get rid of, then you aren't stuck with just an Archfiend and a Necromancer. So, Necromancer effect, bring up this. Archfiend's effect would trigger, because you still have no cards in hand, and it's been special summoned. So you now get to add a card from your deck. Now, in the basic loop, let's make it a presumption and say you still have a launcher in your deck. So you activate launcher. And with the launcher, you can do an additional thing into this loop, which is just recycle Mirage. But that's not part of the basics. So, Synchro, 100 Eyes Dragon. Let me correct the angle on the camera. 100 Eyes Dragon. 100 Eyes effect, remove Infernity Mirage. It now becomes Infernity Mirage effect and name-wise. So you can now tribute it, special summon to. So, there we go. And then Necromancer's effect, special that, and you get to add one. Now you may be thinking, well, what have you gained here? But we now have a launcher, or another set back row. So, you add, set. You can now sync for another level 8. That's basics of the loop. But what happens is, if you have the launcher, what you could have done instead of adding this is add a Necromancer. Now Necromancer, you discard with launcher's effect, and you then synchro into another 8. You can synchro into any 8 you want here. Personally, I just go straight for the another 100 Eyes. I unfortunately only have 100 Eyes. I explained that in my deck profile. So, you go for the 100 Eyes. Your 100 Eyes now can't remove any Mirages because it's removed. But what you can do is launcher, tribute itself, special summon 2 Necromancers. This is where exceeding makes this deck a bit more powerful. Now, Necromancer, you can activate its effect, special summon if you want, but you don't have to. If you want, you can go for an Archfiend and an Avenger. You also get the Archfiend's effect, so you'd be able to add a barrier set. Now you have exactly 5, which is a bit of a pain, but you can get around it. You now sync for a level 5, and you can go to Cataster or anything like that. I'm just going to use a blank sleeve to represent that, because I have both Cataster and Stygian, but it doesn't really matter. Any 5 will do. It's just a free monster you've just gotten out of this. You then detach. Special Mirage. Mirage's effect. Go for Infernity Archfiend and an Avenger. Infernity Archfiend's effect. Triggers. Blah. Set 1. Sync 5. got yourself another 5. I personally like going into the 5s. Other people prefer doing loops, and I've probably done this loop horribly, but this is what I personally prefer. I just like the 5s because they take care of everything, and they don't exhaust resources from your deck. 100 Eyes effect, Badge Mirage, Trib, go into Necromancer, and an Avenger. It's kind of hard to capture all of this on the camera, so you go into that, or you can go into the Archfiend. Archfiend adds another card from your deck to your hand. Add that. Set. The reason why I like this version is you get the 5s, but because I just love level 5s. But you can do it any other way. You can, instead of using their effects when they're specialed, just immediately overlay them for Levia. So let me just get back to that situation. Ignore these because it doesn't really matter at the moment. So you've got that. You detach. Mirage's effect. Bring with that. That. 100 Eyes effect. Banish Mirage while you're there. Effect. Special. Sink 5. Sink for 8. 8, you'd go into, if I can find it, this would be a Infernity Doom Dragon, but I don't run it in my version. It's probably wise to run it because you then get your barriers. But like I said, I'm just testing that. 100 Eyes can now tribute itself. Blah, 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 all that. Sink another 8. You get the idea eventually with Infernities. So yeah, that's the basic loop. If you have any variations on the loop, or if you think I've done the loop wrong, please tell me, like I said. And it's been Jable CG signing out, and look forward to the next video next week, where I'll be running through different versions of the loop. Like there's a Void Ogre Dragon loop, which I'd recommend running Void Ogre Dragon as well. Another amazing card to run. The extra deck in this is amazing, but yeah. So, Jable CG signing out, and look forward to my other videos. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and please share with me your opinions. See you guys later. Bye.